Jesus took his disciples up a mountain so he could teach them. People in that area heard about it and followed them up there because they wanted to hear Jesus teach. He taught them for the rest of that day, and towards the evening it became obvious that they were hungry. Jesus knew what he was going to do. Still, he asked Philip, "How can we get enough food to feed all of these people?" "Lord, even if we had 8 months' wages, we couldn't feed all of these people." Some of the disciples said, "Send them back into the villages and let them buy their own food." Jesus said, "No, I want you to feed them. Go and see what we have." Soon Andrew came back with a young man. He said, "Lord, this lad has 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but what is that among all these people?" Jesus said, "Give them to me." He then took them and he gave thanks. He broke them and gave them to his disciples and said, "Distribute this among the people and tell them to eat as much as they want." So the disciples served the food to the people, and they all ate as much as they wanted. There were over 5,000 people there that day. Jesus said, "Let's not waste anything. Go and gather up what's left over." They gathered 12 baskets full. The people said, "This is the one that the Scriptures talks about. The great prophet that is like Moses." They started to think of ways that they could make him king. Jesus knew what they were thinking, so he sent them away. Then he told the disciples to go back by the way of the sea. At that point, he went farther up the mountain so he could pray. That night, a storm came down the valley and he hit the sea. Huge waves started pushing the boat out towards the center of the sea. The men rowed hard, but the storm was too strong for them. About 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus started walking across the sea on top of the water. The disciples could see him through the storm, and they cried out with fear because they thought it was a spirit. Jesus said, "Don't be afraid. It's me." Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, ask me to come." "Come." With that, Peter got out of the boat and started walking towards Jesus. Suddenly, he once again looked at the wind and the waves, and he became afraid and started to sink. He said, "Lord, save me." Jesus reached out. And, "Oh, Peter, your faith is so small. Why did you fear?" And then the two of them walked back to the boat. Once they got in, the storm stopped. The men fell down and started worshiping Jesus. He said, It's true. It's true. You are the Son of God."